Welcome everyone to this latest Hangout. This takes place once a month. Great to see so many people here already. I've got my chat window in front of me. Fantastic, loads of people here already. I'm going to be talking about the World Championship match that starts this Friday in London. I was just up at the venue today, actually checking it out. Very exciting. And Manoj Krishna says, Happy Diwali. Happy Diwali to you. In fact, there are lots of fireworks outside, going off outside. Diwali celebrations here in London. So yeah, happy Diwali to you. Hi, Collar Silver in Portugal. Hi from Mexico. Hello from Brighton. Fantastic. Michael Van Zyl, you're not a patron, but you can still enjoy the Hangout. But this Hangout is only possible because of the support that I get from my patrons. Chess Improvement says, why not share some pics? I can't share them at the moment because the place was still under construction. But once the thing gets underway, of course, I'll be sharing some pics. Hi from Cape Town, Connecticut. Kenneth Cousin says, hello from Connecticut after voting today. I hope you did the right thing. Johnny Brewery, back up again from North. Hi, Johnny. Hi in southern Germany. Guillermo Gonzalez in Verona. What a beautiful city Verona is. I absolutely love Verona. Been to the arena there, been to a concert in the arena. I've even been to a football match in Verona. I saw Hellas Verona play. That was great. Listen, before I just get on to saying hello to everyone, I should give you your first position. So I've got some puzzles today, but what I'm going to do is show a few games from Carlsen and Caruana and mix them up with a few puzzles as well. Guillermo Gonzalez says there's a big chess tournament in Verona in January. Wow. Thales Agora Jesus, greetings from Brazil. Fantastic. Okay, here's your first position. This is really, 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 really easy. So just bear with me while I get this on the screen. Here we go. It is white to play. Now, there are lots of ways to win this position. I mean, white is completely winning. But what is the quickest way to win this position? What's the quickest way for white to win? I hope it's nice and visible. Yeah, it looks pretty good on there. Oh, it's all gone very quiet. Now, don't just guess a move. You've got to get the whole variation. So you've got to write in a variation, folks. Only then do you get the prize. And the prize is this round of applause. If you get it right. That's the big prize. So I would like a variation, folks. It's all gone very quiet suddenly. Everyone's suddenly being very modest, having to scratch their heads. No. Has this just clicked off completely? No one's saying anything. Listen, if you're out there, let me know you're out there. It's all gone very quiet. Has there just been some system overload? What's going on? Craig Fraser said you said it was easy, not that easy. Okay, well, lots of people got the first move. Let's start off with this. This is the easy bit. Now the king is not in a good position. Well, it didn't have a good position to go to. And now what? What's the quickest way for white to win? There are many ways for white to win because basically white has rook and bishop and knight against a queen. Julian A says, once I dreamt that I went to see Roger Waters live, but it wasn't him, it was you. Yeah, I dreamt that too. That's weird. That's crazy. Yeah, that's quite good chess improvement. It's not quite the. Yeah, there we go. Shenji Tao. Well done, Shenji Tao. This is an easy one. There are so many winning moves here, but this is the quickest. This is the quickest. And if bishop takes, we give a check. This is nice. If the king goes up, then that's checkmate. That's very nice. And if the king well, if this goes here, then this is also very nice. And that's checkmate. And what else we got? We got this one, king g7 here, and that's checkmate. So this was played by an Indian player, Pridhu Gupta, in the Isle of Man tournament. There we are. And the game actually finished like this. So it's just action replay, rook g5, rook f7, and knight f5 check. that wasn't good. How are Brentford doing? Well, I can tell you. Are we back again? Oh, we're back again. That's great. One Love asks, how are Brentford doing? Well, they lost 3 in a row. It was a total disaster. But thankfully, as soon as I returned, then they won. They won at home on Saturday. They beat Millwall 2-0. And the goals were absolutely superb. If you want to Google, if you go on YouTube and put in Brentford Millwall highlights, you'll see 2 absolutely cracking goals from Brentford. Excuse me. So, one more. Sorry, while I just... Maybe we are, Boris. Maybe we are. Who knows? Let me give you another position. This is fun. This is a funny game. Okay. Why am I in my shoes? Says Danny, I travel a 500-mile round journey to watch Watford lose at Newcastle. What can I say? Newcastle are a class team. And my son supports them as well. So I'm afraid that's just life. Okay, so here we go. In your next position, this is rather good fun, actually. If I can actually sort it out. Here we go. Your next position, also from the Isle of Man tournament, and this was played Jovanka Huska, who is the strongest English woman player, playing against Lars Laustsen. And Jovanka has just taken the pawn here with the king. So it's now black to play. What should black play in this position? Your next little challenge for you. Black to play here. Yes, One Love, 3 in a row. Tragic. You're expecting them to be in the playoffs. Me too. In a moment, we'll get on to discussing Carlsen and Karawan, because that's really what I want to talk about today. So what should black play in this position? Black to play. That's your little challenge. Why are men in my shoes says G3 check? That's illegal. G6 check. Yeah, but it's unfortunately it's black to play. Black to play. Oh, G6 check. Yeah, G6 wouldn't be a very good move because that would be checkmate. That's very, very elegant. Well done. Why are men in my shoes? Excellent. but it's black to play, remember. Michael van Zyl, or Van Zyl, Michael van Zyl wants to play Queen e7, or even Michael van Zyl, whatever you like. Queen e7, that is a good move. Yeah, Queen e7 is an excellent move because after the check, basically all the squares are covered. There's no danger here with a Queen e6 check. And then, you know, Queen f7 threatened, and basically black can get on with the serious business of pushing these pawns down the board. So Queen e7 is definitely the best move. In the game, black played b4. And then a check. And then here, and then a check. And here is your next question. It's check. Where should the king move to? Where should the king move to? That's your next question. Where should the king move to? Black to play. No doubt time pressure was involved in this game. Somebody says it's perpetual. Not h8, h7. So why am I in my shoes? Here's my question for you. Why do you want to go to h7? And Patrick Bertrand and Sarah, why h7 and not h8? That's my question for you. Science Facts wants h8, others want h7. So somebody, I need an explanation. Why h7? What's the difference? Why not h8? Well, h8 wouldn't be mate because it just comes back again. There is a problem with king h8. What is the problem? No one's got it yet. Arash Toiser, well done, to avoid king g6. This is the problem. King h8 is a losing move. King g6, of course, is winning after this because there is no decent defense to queen h3 and queen h7 mate. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the problem. And that's what happened in the game. And unfortunately, that was the end of the game. Terrible. But if the king had gone to h7, then there's a massive difference. Now it's just a draw by perpetual check, but it's very important that you don't allow the king in to g6. Science Facts. Dearie me. Yeah, this would just be a draw, of course. Doesn't matter where the king goes. Just so long as you don't allow white's king into g6, the crucial g6 square. That's it. There we go. Okay, let's just click that off. Okay, now, hopefully, yep, we're back again. Excellent. Nice to see everyone. Let me see. Yeah, we've got a few more people joined. So just to say, I'm going to be going through a couple of games by Carlsen and Caruana very shortly. Before I do that, so I just want to have a quick poll. Who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be Fabi? Is it going to be Magnus? Daniela Marioni asks, Daniel, do you have wife and children? Yeah, I do. There we go. There's my ring. I'm married. I have one wife and 2 children. There we are. Better that way round. Do they play chess? They can all play chess, but they don't play chess. Let's put it like that. Sometimes my son and my daughter like to play against each other just for fun. And it is so funny watching them because they're so bad. And the thing is, they find it amusing because they know they're really bad. And it's just random. It's really funny. Eric Gomez says, here we go. So far, we've got one Magnus, one Fabi, two Magnus, another Caruana. At the moment, it is completely evenly split. How old are my kids? Listen, you don't want to know. Johnny Bruce says, Magnus to win. I've had a bet of the bookies with rubbish odds and a poor return of forward. Well, that's true. I've heard, I haven't looked into it. I'm not really a gambler, but I've heard that the odds on Caruana winning are actually quite good. Well, I just think it's wide open. You know, anyone can win this match. I really think that. So if you get good odds on Caruana, why not? But it's so funny. It seems to me that from your opinion, it's very evenly split. And I know, looking at the professional players, again, very evenly split. You had Kramnik and Short, for example, who we were talking to in the Isle of Man tournament, saying that they thought it was very even, but maybe Caruana is a slight favourite. We had others saying that, well, Carlsen just can't be beaten in these kind of matches where it's not about scoring as many points as possible. It's just about being absolutely rock solid. One Love says, Danny, the greatest world title matchup would have been Nezhmetinov-Tal. No, I'm afraid not. Because Nezhmetinov was in many ways brilliant, but he didn't have the strength compared to Tal. Actually, I tell you what, the Tal-Botvinnik matches in 1960 and 1961, they were fantastic World Championship matches because there was a real clash of styles. Those matches were absolutely superb. Okay, well, listen, looking at these, you all, it seems to be very even. I think a lot will depend on the kind of positions they reach. Let's have a look at, I want to take you back, actually, to a couple of games. I'm just going to set this up. Douglas Squirrel asks, will I be at the game venue in London or just commentating at home? I'm actually going to be FIDE press officer during the event. So I will be attending the event and doing reports. I'm not exactly sure what kind of reports yet, but I hope to be filming stuff that we can post on the channel, but I don't know exactly yet. I think it's going to be, the first few games will be, there's going to be a lot going on, so it'll take a little bit of time for things to kind of settle down. But obviously I hope to send pictures from the actual venue itself. Peter Borman asks, where's the best place to follow the games online? You can follow, for example, if you go through chessbase.com, they pick up the official live stream. I think and if you're a premium member, you can watch it. So, that's probably the cheapest way of doing it. You can sign up for the official site, and I think you pay something like $25 for the whole match. So, those will give you the pictures, basically. There you go. You got Science Facts saying 6.5, 3.5. Mostafizur Rahman, greetings from Dhaka in Bangladesh. Greetings to you too. Greetings to Bangladesh, a country I visited some years ago. 25 years ago, I was in Bangladesh, and very beautiful it was too, I have to say. Okay, let me show you this game. Enough chat, And let's get down to this. So just one moment. Here we go. Let me share the screen. Here we go. So this was a game played when Magnus was 12 years old. If you don't mind, just hold back with the questions for the time being, because I just want to take you through the games. Yeah, if you turn up and you find me at the championship, then do come and say hi. Yeah, please, that'd be great. Okay, so here we go. Typical Carlsen position. What I find interesting is that essentially Magnus was playing in the same kind of way, even when he was a kid, to how he plays now. You know, he is still squeezing long endgames, squeezing out the tiniest of advantages. You know, this is what he likes to do the most. So, yeah, let me show you this one. Okay, here's my question. First question for you. What should white play here? White to play, I mean, defending these kind of endgames is very, very important knowledge. So how would you play as white here? Why Money Maestro says this position reminds me of Carlsen Nakamura this year. Yeah, it's a very different kind of position because that was a theoretical win. Whereas this should just be a drawn position. I mean, in normal positions where it's 4 versus 3, then this should just be a draw. In the Carlsen Nakamura game, of course, there was a protected pass pawn on h5. But I realize, of course, it's also another rook and pawn endgame that he squeezed. But that one was a theoretical win after a certain point. This is definitely a draw. George Kahn says rook a6, and that is certainly not a bad move. Science Fact says f3. Now, f3 is actually the clearest move. It's very difficult to know whether to kind of, well, you know, when exactly to cut, you know, when to trade pawns. I have a funny feeling he might have thought, well, maybe this one isn't so clear. Well, this one would be clear. And then king f3, and that'll be a draw. I mean, obviously, hi, Gabe in LA. How you doing? Nice to hear from you. This is a clear draw. 3 against 2 is easy. But I wonder whether after this move, white thought, well, this is tricky. White still needs to find some good moves here. And I suspect that he thought, I don't want to complicate matters. I think this is the problem. I mean, in fact, this should be a draw if white plays accurately. But very often in these kind of positions, you sort of think, I bet there's a simpler way of playing this. You know, white still has to find some good moves here. I mean, it should be a draw. But let's go back. f3 is a good move. I mean, personally, rook a6 just looks like a good move to me. Just keeping an eye on this guy. And then to make progress, I think black is going to have to probably play g5 at some moment. And then, you know, black will trade pawns and, okay, the game still goes on. This is, you know, still possible for black to make progress here. But rook a6 looks normal. Anyway, in the game, rook a6 played. And here I would just play rook b6 and wait. In the game here, and rook a4 is also a good move. In the game, white obviously thought that he could force a drawn position because he checked the king here and then came back again. And I suspect that he thought that he was drawing straight away. I suspect he thought that the king had to come back. But what did Magnus now play? Black to play, guys. Black to play. Well, if you play g5, then I think there's going to be trouble. I would guess here. And let me see. I guess if I just take this. Well, who's better and why? Yeah, okay, that's just a draw. Rook f3 is the move, of course, in this position. Rook a6 and rook f3. And now rook e6. Okay, what move now? How should black play now after rook f3, rook e6? And I suspect that white reached this position and thought this is just a dead draw. But what did Magnus do now? Interesting, no one's got it. Well, let's look at f5. Excuse me. After this, well, there are chances, but there are also chances for white. I mean, maybe this might be good. I'm not sure. After this, this is possible. But let me see. I come here. Maybe white is still okay here. Because after king here, I've got rook check. Maybe white is still okay. Let's go back. Yeah. Of course, if e3, then we give a check here. And then we can take the rook. The correct move, as pointed out by Mr. Science Chap, Science Facts, is king h3. And this is just a winning move. And that wins for black. Because we're going to take here. There's absolutely no defense. This was the end of the game. And here, black just collects the pawns. Now, actually, in some positions, rook and bishop pawn are a draw. But in this case, because white's king is cut off here, then this is just a theoretical win. So here we go. Hajukovati says, how is this better than the previous line where black had a passer on e4? Well, I think that one was drawn because white had h4 and g3 against f5 and e4, whereas in this one, black is 2 pawns up. Okay, so this is, yeah, I mean, this endgame Carlsen against Nakamura from St. Louis has already been mentioned, where Magnus made this fantastic king march. And this is really common. I just with his games, I just find it fascinating that Magnus was doing this when he was 12 years old. It's absolutely incredible, and he's still playing in a similar style. Actually, I mean, of course, he plays different kinds of games, but I think if he can get this kind of position, then I think he will be really good. He's shown that he can grind down almost anyone in the world. Let me show you just one very, very quickly, another of Carlsen's games. And again, it's actually played in the same tournament. Some of you might have seen this already because I mentioned it in the book review, but this time I'd like to go a little further on and give the whole of the game. So just bear with me while I just show you. I'm going to zip through this one quite quickly. Okay, so this game, like I said, I mentioned this in the book review of this book, Endgame Virtuoso, Magnus Carlsen. And I gave these moves. This is a very clever idea and involved some calculation because you have to see that everything works here. So this is threatened. And now you have to see that the rook is still okay here. And, well, in the review, I left it here, saying, he'd won a pawn and went on to win. But this game is absolutely fascinating. Carlsen's technique is just superb here. So, again, I want to throw this out to you. How did Magnus win this one? Give me a strategy here. What would you do if you were white? No, he didn't play f4. Generally, if you're going to advance your pawns, it's better to advance the side pawn. It's neater. It's nice to keep these ones in reserve. This is very interesting. We got improve your king position, move up the queen side, exchange rooks and win on the queen side. Well, transfer the king to the queen side and push pawns. Actually, no. Let's see what happened. It's clear that white has an advantage on this side of the board with the pawn. But the next thing you want to do is squeeze on this side of the board. Here. This is where you want to do the squeezing. Well, it should be the other way around. Here. This is where you want to squeeze. Because then you're winning on both sides of the board. So let's see what happened. Now, black doesn't have to play h5, but this is always the dilemma. What do you do with those pawns? But basically, if black does nothing, then white is going to advance these pawns, and then you'll create a second weakness here, or here. It's very unpleasant. We've seen Magnus do this on many, many occasions. So black thinks, okay, at least he only has one weakness to defend. It's kind of understandable, but this is always the big dilemma of the defender. The rook is beautifully placed, by the way. Means that this rook doesn't come into play, and yeah, after a4, b6 is a weakness. But let's see what Magnus did. So first of all, he brought his king forward. Now, if f6, then the rook is just going to invade. Now, you could play g4. I mean, I think there are various ways to play this. You could also play king e4. I quite like g4 here, with the idea, well, first of all, this will create a weakness. So black has to take. And now This is an interesting idea, to push the pawn forward to f5 to create a passed pawn. So, for example, here, if the king comes forward, then we can just go in. This looks good. Or, in fact, play f4 is probably even better, tying the rook down to the defense of this pawn. In fact, I think black is in Zugzwang in this position. If f5, then king g5. And otherwise, you can see the king has no move, so the rook comes across here. Well, this is now an absolutely dreadful position. And here, with the rook there, then we can come across and take here. Completely winning. So let's go back. Just bear with me. Okay, so black played rook c8 to prevent the rook coming down. Okay, now what? White to play. What's your next move? White to play. King g5. Yeah, absolutely. Well done, everyone suggesting king g5. It's time to move in. Black is completely passive here. I mean, I suppose if black had played something like this, then you could entertain ideas of playing f4 and f5. Oh, no, sorry, not this. You can play this, of course. This is better. That's much better. And take here and then in. Well, okay, you can choose the poison. Okay, but this was played. Now, you can take on g6, but this is even more cruel to play king h6. I mean, basically, I don't think he wanted to calculate this stuff. This is winning as well, of course. White is going to be winning this position. So king h6 is played. I mean, this is even more cruel because it just stops any counterplay. And the point is, if there's a check, then you can take here, and then the rook obviously can't play rook g8 here. So that's completely winning. And black is in a kind of Zugzwang here. So after this, well, this is a beautiful move. Obviously, pawn takes, then rook takes, and we're going to get in here and take these pawns. And in the game after rook takes, then he came back with king g6, and because the rook has been moved up here, there's no rook g8 check. And this was the end of the game. Nice move, just keeping everything protected. I mean, now the threat is for white to play rook e3 check and take here. And black did this, but this loses. And just a little bit of calculation. And the pawn goes through. Yeah, beautiful game. We're back again. Hi. Michael van Zyl, what do you think is the good way to learn endgames? Practice them, says Lee Chess. Okay, to learn endgames, first of all, two things. You need to know basics. You need to know basic positions. So, for example, in rook and pawn endgames, Philidor's position, Luceni's position, and then you build up from the absolute basics up. You know those basics. And there are very good books that will help you. For example, 100 endgames you must know. I've got it in my bookshelf somewhere. Just a second. Can't find it. Just a moment. Still can't find it. Damn. I can't find it. Never mind. Oh, it might be down there. Hang on a second. Yeah, here we go. There you go. If you want to know the basics, that's very good. Everyone says Dvoretsky. But don't go to Dvoretsky because he's too complicated. Start with that one. Also, Jeremy Silman's Endgame course, another book I always recommend. If you want, check out seriously, Danny's Endgame DVDs. Thank you very much, One Love. Do check out my PowerPlay DVDs. You'll find the link in the description. Just go to the ChessBase online shop, and I have a DVD on King and Pawn endgames and Rook and Pawn endgames, and they start from the basics and they get complex quite quickly. But I give you the building blocks, and I would recommend those. I think DVDs or downloads, whatever you want, they're a really good way to learn. DiMauro says, I like Silman's complete endgame course. Yeah, and so does Guillermo Gonzalez. Yeah, I agree. I really like Silman's endgame course. I think it's excellent. And of course, play through games, endgames by the greats. You know, this is a tremendous book. Where is it? I just reviewed this, Endgame Virtuoso, Magnus Carlsen. You can't go wrong if you play through the end games of the best players in the world, and you can't do better than Magnus. But you have to put some effort in. You can't just kind of learn them like that. Right. Monkey shoulders, monkey shoulder. You like whiskey, do you? Hey Dan, love the channel. I'm playing game on Thursday. Think you're playing the London system. Do you think it's a bit boring, or should I go for the King's Gambit and go all flamboyant? It's completely up to you. If you want to go flamboyant, fine. What's your style? Jürgen Becker says Kasparian's problems, domination in in-game studies. Okay, this is not a good one if you're trying to learn endgames. No. Great fun. Why many of my shoes? To be honest, I didn't investigate. What else have we got? I think I might have missed some people. Okay, so listen, I need to balance things out. I want to show you a game by Fabiano Caruana. So wait a second. As I said, I think that it depends on the kind of position that they reach. So let me show you this. Shumang Wang says, see you in London next week, Dan. Yep. Philippe Degremont. Nice to see you live. Hello from France. Bonsoir, Philippe. Ça va bien. Okay. Let me show you this game. Let me just share this 1 second, guys. Here we go. So this was a game played some time ago when Fabi was just, I think, he's almost turning 17. And the reason I selected this is because it's actually related to a game that I showed on the channel quite recently. So you might recall a game in the Olympiad where Fabi won a beautiful game with black. And it's a really similar system where he put his bishop on and he put his bishop on a7. So just have a look at this. Now, this is a fantastic move. In this position, h5, I should have done this as a kind of quiz to see who could get this, actually. But anyway, we're there already, h5. And like I said, it's very, very similar to the game that I showed you online. So the idea is that black is attacking on these diagonals, and sometimes on the h file as well. He probably should play queen b2 here, but anyway, he took on f6. Played f4, so maybe he thought he was safe enough. It's really interesting because very often in the Richter-Alza, this bishop is on e7. But on a7, this actually transforms the position. That bishop is so dangerous here. And this is interesting because even in that game that I showed, then bishop e8 was also played by Fabi. It's really interesting, the similarities here. Now, rook f3 is dangerous because he might be setting up for this. But h4. And he just went h3 now. I think very often you have to do this because this can just be, well, in that game from the Olympiad, Fabi got in h3 and the king was just in permanent danger. But watch what happens. This is just a brutal game. There are so many similarities. Yep, jumps Darshan. You're right. That bishop is just a monster. But watch what happens now. This is very interesting. Black wins in 4 more moves. This is fantastic. 1, 2. So he's almost there. 3. And rook takes g2. I should have given that one as a little test. After this move, it is all over. I mean, this is an absolutely brutal game. Okay, let's see. If king takes g2, we played that one, and that's devastating. And we're going to take here. And white's king is a complete wreck. I just liked it because there was similarities. Excuse me, guys. Let me have a quick drink. Somebody wants a repertoire for white with d4. That's not really my department. I'm more e4. E4 is my move, basically. Jump Start Station says hello from Canada. Do you think Magnus will push for wins, or will he play for draws and try to win in the tie breaks? I think Magnus will push for wins, yeah. He can't just block because it's possible he'll lose a game. You know, he lost a game against Vichy. Excuse me. He lost a game against Karyakin. Crazy I Am says he just managed to sneak into YouTube at work. Well done, Crazy I Am. Yeah, absolutely. Magnus will be pushing for wins. Yeah, do you know what? I've run out of tea. This is my problem. Penguin F, I'm fine, thank you. Do I think Caruana plays like Spassky? Karyakin played for draws and backfired. Yeah, I just think, I mean, I honestly have no idea what's going to happen. I think Magnus is really wound up for this, though. I think he's kind of feeling the pressure, you know? That's my impression. And obviously taking it very seriously. I think this is the first match that is a proper test for him, actually. I mean, although Karyakin came very close, I think it's a real test, basically. Manoj Krishna asked, does playing blindfold games help in improving chess? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, play blindfolds. It's good for your calculation. Absolutely. You need to visualize. Hamed asked, what are my plans for the match? I'm going to be a press officer for FIDE. So I'm writing reports and doing reports, little videos as well. Hamid Barati, delighted to hear that. Excellent. No, I honestly don't know what's going to happen, but I think a lot will depend on what openings they play. Thing is, you can expect a lot of draws. You can expect a lot of long games. A lot of you will probably say it's really boring. Personally, I don't find it boring. I find it absolutely fascinating. Even these long games, there'll be a lot of draws, I think. I think it's important to see the match as a whole, so that if there are draws, then it basically just increases the tension. Let me see. Tapiwa Gora asked, did Google give Caruana access to AlphaZero? As I understand it, no. I mean, I'm sure these guys have access to some kind of supercomputer anyway, but no, I'm pretty sure that you know, all these games were played, and not all of them by AlphaZero. Not all of them were published, and actually they're holding back the publication of these games until after the match, in case it would influence the match in some way. I think it's very interesting. Craig Fraser asked, is there a buzz in London for the championship? Not really, no. You have to realize that in London, there are 2,300 other events going on at the same time. I'm not saying chess, but just generally. So you can't say that chess fever has hit London because there are too many other things going on, basically. Yeah, by the way, one thing is, do check out my merch. I've sorted out some merch. Let me try and find the link. In fact, you can see the link if you go into my last video. You'll see that I've sorted out some T-shirts and things. Finally, if you're a Magnus supporter, then I've got a design there with Magnus saying Magnus like that on with an emoji. There are T-shirts and there are mugs. So there's a Magnus T-shirt. There's also a Caruana T-shirt that says "Keep calm and Caruana." So it's a pun on this very English slogan. That's keep calm and carry on, but we've changed it to keep calm and Caruana. So some of you Caruana supporters might like that, and you can get them in T-shirts, mugs, all kinds of sizes, colors, designs. Do check out the link. Just go to my last video on the channel, the book review, and you'll see the links there. So do check them out. So the question people have been asking, who do I think will win? I just don't know. I think it's too close to call. Michael Van Zyl says, if you look at Fischer-Spassky, there are tons of draws, but they were mostly exciting. Yeah, but I think chess has changed. I think the nature of the game has changed. So even in Fischer-Spassky, you got opening novelties where it gave one of the players almost a decisive opening advantage. I don't think you're going to get that in this match. This is not modern chess. What they're going to be looking to do is get to play a new move that gives them maybe a slight advantage or a position that they're just kind of slightly more comfortable with than their opponent. So that a lot of you will find it boring. I know many people were dissatisfied online over the past few World Championship matches. But I think we need to set expectations. That's what it's going to be like. Who do I think will win? I don't know. I honestly don't know who will win. It's too close to call. Let me see if I can find the link to... I can't find it, of course. Problem. Let me see if I can find the link, guys. Just bear with me a second while I Google away. Just one second, guys. Here we go. Oh, yeah, here we are, I hope. Just bear with me, guys. Here we go. So there is the PowerPlayChess official merch. You can see the link there, and you can buy t-shirt. You can buy PowerPlayChess t-shirts, mugs. You can get them in different colors, different designs, and also watch out for those, the Magnus t-shirt, and also the Keep Calm and Caruana t-shirt as well. You'll see them there. Sashi says, based on the success Fabius had with the Petrov, do you think he will stick with it in World Chess? I think he might do. Yeah, I think he might stick with the Petrov, actually. It served him very well. Mike Dawson asks, am I doing commentary? No, I'm press officer for the match. Harris Nabil says, Danny, you are Karsh or No, I'm neutral. I'm just looking forward to a really good match. I'm not gunning for either. So yeah, Keep Calm and Caruana or Magnus. You can get those t-shirts. And if you want to support the channel on Patreon, please do. I'm going to put that in, patreon.com, PowerPlayChess. We would be very grateful. One little incentive for some of you on Patreon, if you stick in a certain amount of money, then I'm opening up, I've created opening playlists. And I've just published one for our $10 patrons, which is on the French defense. So I've gone through all the videos on the channel and selected the French defense ones, 21 videos, put them into a French defense playlist, which is just for the $10 plus on the channel. So it provides you with a fantastic kind of strategic guide and guide to different variations on the French. So it's a little incentive for you. Zia says, Mr. King, can't we get one that just says PowerPlayChess? Absolutely. you'll find a PowerPlayChess t-shirt in that. Let me see. Let me give you the exact description. Just 1 second. I'll just provide the link for you. Just one moment. There we go. That is the PowerPlay shirt. The mug. Listen, if you go into the shop, Zia, you'll find it. Okay. I can't spoon feed you everything. I gave you the t-shirt one, but if you look around, you'll find the mug one. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there. Patrick, very kind. Ivan Elverlund says, hello from Denmark. Do you think we need a new title above GM, like Super GM? No, I don't think so. I mean, the ratings count for something. Bob Dole says, Mr. King will sign the coffee mug for extra. I don't deal with the fulfillment, so unfortunately, I can't do that. But if you ever meet up with me, I'll be very happy to sign it for you, okay? There we go. Penguin says, personally, I like HM Headmaster. Very good. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it there. So thanks very much for tuning in. And look out for my reports on the World Championship starting on Friday. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you later.